Have you ever just wanted to rant? Really speak your mind about something you're passionate about? Well, for me at least, that something is the live action remake of the Disney classic animated movie Mulan. Now, more so than just a subpar movie review, I want to discuss why Mulan 2020 is a travesty in both entertainment value and its messages it gives to society as a whole. I have viewed the live-action Mulan 3 times since its initial release in September of 2020, taking notes each time about its quality. I have also spent a substantial amount of time researching many aspects of the movie. Now, once again, I don't want this to just be a movie review. I want to show just how harmful this film's messages are for society as a whole, especially to young and impressionable children. Terrible portrayals of women empowerment, propaganda of genocidal government figures, and a flat-out awful viewing experience. Mulan 2020 is a blight on the art of film. Starting softly, Mulan 2020 is just not enjoyable to watch at all. The main reason that it's not fun to watch is the poor editing, the misused symbols, and the underwhelming acting. Starting off with the editing, the movie feels very choppy when you watch it. Scenes are given very little time to sink in, which creates a false sense of speed, especially during the fight scenes. The fight scenes change camera angles so often, it's near impossible to keep track of the action. One fight in particular never lingers on one scene for more than a single second, and it's so hard to follow what's happening, and it can be nauseating. The camera work is also very comical at times, where it'll spin and flip around to follow along with some of the actions, and it doesn't add anything to the movie. It just takes away from the movie's serious tone and makes it look goofy. Next, the symbols that the movie uses are dumbed down and trope laden that they lose all their meaning. The main symbol throughout the film is the phoenix. The phoenix is a universal symbol of rebirth, and it is explicitly used 8 times throughout the movie. This is an issue because a symbol of rebirth being used 8 times implies that our main character, Mulan, had to be reborn 8 times, which implies that she couldn't grow on her own. She had to completely change in order to get anything done. If the symbol wasn't so universal, such as a flower, like it was in the animated one, it would have been a much better symbol. Another symbol is Mulan's father's sword. Written on it are the 3 words loyal, brave, and true, and at the end of the movie a fourth phrase is added, being devotion to family. The symbols are seen multiple times throughout the film, and they're very predictable, and they're very trope-laden, and it just doesn't feel like a movie meant for older audiences, which is what is implied by its PG-13 rating and serious tone. But it doesn't understand subtlety. The symbols are so watered down you would have to be blind not to see them, and some lines in the movie are borderline baby talk with how much the movie talks down to its audience. The best example, and this is a direct quote from the movie, is when Mulan's taking a bath and she's naked in this scene, and a male soldier walks up behind her and says this exact line: "You've been keeping your skill a secret. What else have you been hiding?" It's so blatant and unnecessary, and it drags the whole movie down to a child's level. And speaking of the acting, it's pretty terrible. It's very stilted. None of the actors really feel like characters, they feel like actors reading lines straight from the script. It's especially bad during the fight scenes and emotional scenes, because characters have no expressions, and they will also ragdoll and flip around like crazy when hit with like a single arrow, or even CGI cloth that is used multiple times as a weapon, and it looks ridiculous. Now that I've adequately explored the entertainment aspect of Mulan 2020, let's talk about its awful messages to society. First, the the movie's take on women empowerment is a detriment to society and its impressionable population. Superpowers are given to Mulan as her empowerment. which undermines the entire message of the original 1998 Mulan. Early on in the movie, it's shown and explained that Mulan has Qi, seen as a superpower of incredible physical abilities, compared to the original Mulan, where she has no powers. During the training arc of the movie, as opposed to our main character getting stronger through hard work and adversaries, she's just suppressing her insane powers out of fear of being discovered as a girl. So instead, we get to see minor characters working hard and improving. So we never get to see Mulan grow as a character. We just get to see her hiding her powers. So that's a great message we should give to society. Women, you're only powerful if you're born with superpowers. If not, then that's too bad. Because the second message it gives is that if you're not born with powers, such as Mulan's sister, your role in society is to be married and have kids. It's so blatant and stupid and awful. Like, why would the movie try to do this? It thinks that it's doing women empowerment by giving Mulan superpowers, but the original 1998 Mulan does it so much better by having a woman be empowered through her training, not through superpowers that have no meaning, and it's just terrible. And finally, there's a third female character in the movie, the witch, the antithesis of Mulan as presented in the movie. The movie tries to present her and Mulan as two sides of the same coin. One, a mass murderer who's killed entire villages and is seen doing so throughout the movie, and the other, a girl who wanted to protect her father. They are shown as being the same, except with one difference. One of them was accepted by society and the other wasn't. Is the movie trying to tell us that strong women are only a few steps away from being mass murderers? It's just terrible. And there's many more problems with what the movie has, but I don't want to go too far into the rest of them. I really want to discuss some of the issues surrounding the film's creation, move away from the movie itself. Because Mulan 2020 was filmed with and supports Chinese government bodies that are in the process of a Uyghur Muslim genocide, along with other human rights horrors. Disney explicitly worked with and thanked Chinese governments that are currently committing mass genocide. According to many sources, including The Spectator, Disney specifically thanked 8 government bodies in Xinjiang, an autonomous province in northwest China, where one of the world's worst human rights abuses is happening. That human rights abuses mentioned include at least 2 million Uyghur Muslims being forced into concentration camps. Some of the atrocities include torture of men, women, children, forced sterilization, brainwashing, separation, and much more. And it's not a secret. This is a known fact, and yet Disney worked with and thanked these people in the movie. Secondly, also relating to China, back when the movie was still leading up to its release, the Hong Kong protests were happening, where people in Hong Kong were protesting the fact that they did not have a right to vote. And the lead actor in Mulan 2020 supported the police brutality occurring because of that. As stated from The Guardian and gleaned from her personal statement, controversy over this live-action Mulan really kicked off after the lead actor, Chinese-born naturalized American Crystal Louis-Yaffe, declared her support for the Hong Kong police after they committed acts of brutality against Hong Kong protesters. Having your main actor show public support for police brutality and totalitarianism isn't the best way to bring positive press towards your movies. These controversies show just how much poor taste was in this movie's creation, and the knowledge of it is even more reason to declare Mulan 2020 as one of the worst things Disney has ever done. And I'd like to close out with this. Mulan 2020 is a travesty of a movie from all its entertainment flaws, its poor societal messages, and its horrible production circumstances. If we keep supporting these types of films, then our future will be filled with boring, trope-laden messages of movies, and billion-dollar companies will continue to exploit human rights for a quick buck. So I urge all of you in the audience, please don't watch or support the live-action Mulan, and urge your friends not to watch it either. If you don't, it will be a boring, bad movie night for everyone. Thank you.